to another Unbearable podcast. I'm Ryan Voss, and with me always is Drew Testa. Drew, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Big Hurricanes fan, Miami Hurricanes, so I'm excited for our game later on against Clemson. So that's kind of what's absorbing my day today.
That's going to be a good game, no doubt. Let's get right into some Week 5 picks.
Let's do it.
No free ads, but we are using my bookie today. And the first game on the slate is the Panthers versus the Falcons. Drew, what do you like about this game?
I like the Falcons at home to cover. It's more or less a pick 'em since it's only, a point and a half. So you'd have to think that's not a very, hard spread to cover. If you're going to win, it'll more times than not be by more than a point. So Atlanta at home, they have been slumping this year, but, they're going to have to win eventually. And I think they'll win this game and cover the 1.5.
I'm going to take the opposite of what you said. I don't think home field advantage matters too much in 2020 NFL. And normally, if this wasn't a division game, I don't like division games normally because they're very weird. If it wasn't a division game, I would be taking the Panthers without a doubt, especially because you're getting the plus 105 if you take the money line. Like you said, it's basically a pick 'em. But I would stay away from this game.
Yeah.
I think the Panthers are the better team, though.
They've looked at this year. I think we should say, too, we're not betting all these games, and we're not saying you should bet all these games, but we're saying if you were to bet them, what our picks would be. But I agree, is probably smart to stay away from.
Yeah, I mean, this is all just for fun. I actually am gonna place a bet later in the pod, and I want you to help me with it, and then we'll keep the receipts. I already got one bet I'm gonna share. It's my can't lose parlay of the week.
Oh, how many of those have actually not lost?
Hey, you see this up here? I mean, it started out with 50, so I'm getting better. All right, so next we got the Raiders and the Chiefs. This one should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, you got to take the Chiefs. I mean, they're just blowing people out right now. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to stop them. I definitely don't think it's going to be the Raiders. So I think the Chiefs minus 11 that's a very good pick. I would also definitely take the over because the Chiefs put up a lot of points.
No, and the Raiders don't have a bad offense. The over didn't hit last week for the Chiefs, and it also didn't hit against the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was off by like a point. So it's hard to take the over but the Chiefs, they could put up 55 by themselves, and I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
So
not at all.
I do like the minus 11. I don't even think the Raiders can cover the 11. Well,
yeah, I could see this game being really high scoring too. Something like 40-something to like 20-something for the Raiders. Maybe like 42-28, something like that. Because the Raiders, they can put up some points.
They got a pretty much a young secondary too, and Patrick Mahomes will look to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Rams versus the Washington football team.
This one's interesting because Washington this year, they haven't been playing. I know they had a bad game against Baltimore, but Baltimore is clearly way better than them, and the Rams are too. But Washington has not played as bad as people, I feel like, thought they were going to this year. And they have a new quarterback this week starting, Kyle Allen, who Ron Rivera obviously knows well from his time in Carolina. Yeah. But I think a big question mark, and before I pick this game, is you have to know if Chase Young's playing or not, because
it's true.
The Rams offense struggled last week against the Giants, and Washington's defense is a lot better than the Giants. So I think if Chase Young plays, I don't think Washington's a bad pick here.
This Washington football team's got a lot of heart, especially because it's had a lot of controversy in the offseason. I actually think that controversy got the guys to almost rally behind them, like, hey, let's not go out there and be an embarrassment. And especially they're playing for Coach Rivera. It's hard to pick against Ron Rivera. Except, Kyle Allen, if I'm not mistaken, he was a rookie last year. And at one point, he was looking so good, people were saying, okay, they can move on from Cam Newton and keep playing Kyle Allen. Then the wheels fell off. So I'm going to get this guy. He's had going to be in his second year, a year under his belt. But if you got Aaron Donald in the middle, breathing down your neck the whole game, and Jalen Ramsey locking down a whole side of the field, I don't trust Kyle Allen to be able to make anything happen in that situation. If this was minus 7, I'd hammer the Rams all day. I still think I'm going to take the Rams minus 7.5. And I might lean towards the under also.
Yeah, I could definitely see that game being pretty low scoring. So I think the under would probably be a good pick.
This game here, It shouldn't be any surprise. I'm taking the Jaguars plus 5.5. My boy Gardner Minshew. Hold up. Let me get his jersey. You talk about the game. I'm getting his jersey.
Okay, so this game, obviously, a lot of new things for Houston, right? They got a new head coach, Romeo Crennel, who's been a coach before, but not for the Texans and Deshaun Watson. There it is. There's the Minshew jersey. Yeah, show it off. That's a pretty good looking jersey.
I had to get the blue. I had to. It's unique.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty sharp. But yeah, but I think the Texans are really good at rally because I don't think the players liked Bill O'Brien. If I'm being 100% honest, like J.J. Watt literally said like he got into a fight with him or something, like a shouting match. So I think the Texans are going to be fired up and they're going to come out here. So I'm going to go against your pick and I'm going to say take the Texans minus 5.5.
There's that rally mentality especially when you got an interim head coach. Players like to get behind that guy and want to get him a job. I like the Jaguars though. I think neither of these teams are very good. What you said earlier is that at some point Atlanta has to win. At some point the Texans have to win. So I'm gonna take the plus 5.5. But
I think the Texans money line might be the play.
It's minus
the Texans without the spread.
And
yes, true, but I definitely see them winning.
I'll take the under on this too. I feel like it'd be
I would probably
take
the over.
Think so?
Yeah, but I could see a lot of good field position, like some turnovers. So I feel like that game has a chance to go a lot of points. I guess we're just seeing that game differently.
Well, while we're talking about the Texans, that was a bad spelling of the Texans.
That's not how you spell that.
If Deshaun Watson's supposed to be as great as he is, it's no excuse to be on an 0-4 team. They
have played Kansas City and Baltimore, though, which are two games that you don't expect them to win. And they had a good chance last week to beat Minnesota, and it looked like they were going to tie the game up. Will Fuller caught a pass in the end zone, but it was later ruled that he didn't make the catch.
You're right.
I was able to catch the end of that game.
This is a tough start to the season.
I mean, that's three of the best teams in the AFC: the Steelers, the Chiefs, and the Ravens.
They should have won. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm telling you, if Deshaun Watson, and I liked Deshaun Watson a lot before this year. Before this year, I liked him a lot. Now I'm not so high on him. If you're supposed to be an MVP talks every year, one of the best, you can't be on an 0-4 team. And especially if my Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Minshew Mania, goes out there and gets a dub. Oh my God.
There's going to be serious question marks around Deshaun Watson.
And then you have to start to wonder, is Deshaun Watson because of that?
But you got to think he's trying to play now without DeAndre Hopkins, who he obviously had a special connection with, and now with a new coach. So things really haven't been shaking his way so far this year.
But you're telling me that Brandon Cooks, everyone wanted Brandon Cooks at one point, was traded for first-round picks, is a scrub? Are you telling me
he's not.
That a healthy Will Fuller is one of the most insane athletes on the field? A healthy Will Fuller's problem. Randall Cobb isn't a joke either, and David Johnson was a top back just 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago.
Okay, but I mean, he's got pieces. I mean, he has more pieces than Mitch Trubisky did in 2017.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Mitch Trubisky was throwing to Dontrell Inman. I think.
Okay, but he's also better than Trubisky was in 2017, though, still.
All right, let's move on. We just do not see eye to eye on that, and that's good. I mean, this is for conversation.
Yeah, everyone has different opinions. Jets. I love the Cardinals. I would say the Cardinals, if I had to make like a one pick of the week, I'm definitely picking this. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I would not be surprised if the Jets this year go 0-16. The Jets are so bad. Like, they're terrible.
Especially and then they got starting Joe Flacco too this week.
That's what I was going to say. They're starting Joe Flacco this week. Like, the Jets, they're terrible. I love the Cardinals minus 7.5. They're coming off a couple losses. They're going to be motivated to get a win. And I think this is a very good pick. I would definitely take Arizona.
I would want to know what the spread would be if this game was 2 weeks ago when the Cardinals was 2-0. This spread would be insane. Yeah. So I agree with you. The Cardinals should win this one. This should be a get-right game for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they have a chance to get some confidence back.
All right, Eagles, Steelers. This one's interesting. I'm surprised a little bit how favored the Steelers are.
Yeah, that really stands out to me too. I mean, that many points. Pittsburgh, the way they play, I can't really see them like blowing a lot of teams out. because they like to run the ball and play defense. And usually teams that run the ball and play defense don't blow teams out. Although Philadelphia has looked pretty bad this year, at least in my opinion. I
No,
don't
they,
think
they
they're playing that
have.
well.
You're
Yeah.
1-2 and for a 1-2 and a tie, and you're at the top of your division.
That's
And
horrible.
no one thought that they should have beat the 49ers on Sunday Night Football.
And they should have lost to Cincinnati too, honestly.
Maybe maybe Carson Wentz is finally finding his groove. I don't know. If I'm going to take the Eagles plus 7.5, just because I don't see that being a blowout, like you said.
Yeah, I would take Philadelphia too. I also, although it is two teams known for defense, if the over-under is only 44, you got to take the over when it's that many points, in my opinion, just for the sheer chance that that game will probably go over that low points. So yeah, I like the Eagles too.
All right, the Bengals and the Ravens. I'm going to look up the Ravens right now because I don't know everything. But I almost like if you're getting 12.5, I kind of like the Bengals here. I think the Bengals have showed me that maybe not this year, but a year down the road, they can be contenders. Joe Burrow,
he's looked good.
Down without a fight.
He's looked really good.
And
the Ravens, beside the Chiefs, so they've covered 12 every game they've won, 12.5 every game they've won. The Ravens do blow some teams out. Like they usually, when they win, they since they've got Lamar Jackson, they usually win pretty big when they win.
If Washington can keep it within 14, I think the Bengals can do a little bit better. This game's kind of a toss-up for me. Especially we didn't even mention Lamar Jackson, his injury and his upset stomach. He hasn't practiced all week. I'm actually really starting to talk myself into this plus 12.5. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot. I think this game, I would pick the Ravens, and I'm gonna tell you why is because I think Cincinnati. I think the score is gonna look worse than the way the game actually went. So I think the Ravens will be up like 7-10 points for a majority of the game, and then they'll just score a late touchdown to cover the 12.
Yeah,
I could see this being a competitive game, but I think the Ravens should be able to cover against Cincinnati. But Cincinnati, you're right. They look like they have something brewing over there, and Joe Burrow looks like the real deal.
All right, now we move into the afternoon slate of the games. We got the Dolphins, 49ers.
I think since Jimmy G's playing this week, I would take San Francisco minus 8.5. They're clearly the way better team than the Dolphins are.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this game. The Dolphins, they looked really good on Thursday Night Football against the Jaguars a couple weeks ago. Ryan Fitzpatrick was doing everything, but then there was controversy. Was Ryan Fitzpatrick still going to start? So the Ryan Fitzpatrick, 4 good games a year, it might have come and gone. I like the 49ers to cover as well. The Giants-Cowboys, the NFC East battle.
Yeah, I mean, if you can call it that. First of all, whenever the Cowboys are playing, take the over. Their defense is terrible. I don't care what the thing is. The teams are going to put up points on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are going to put up points. So definitely take the over. And as far as 8.5 goes, although Dallas's defense might be it may be the worst in the NFL, and that's not even an exaggeration. Their defense is so bad. But I think they cover 8.5. The Giants just aren't a very good team. They don't have Saquon Barkley. The Cowboys, they should be able to roll over the Giants, and I think they'll cover the 8.5.
All right, Colts and Browns. The Browns, they've gotten hot. When we were looking at the Ravens, we saw that they lost the first week 6-30 something. But since then, their offense has seemed to pick up some steam, even if it might be old Jarvis Landry that's in at quarterback.
Yeah.
I like the Colts to cover the 1. The Colts defense, they were a buzzsaw against the Bears, and I think they keep that up. And I think this is going to be actually a low-scoring game. I think the Colts defense is going to give the Browns some problems, and the Colts are going to be in the driver's seat and kind of dictate the way this game goes.
Yeah, I agree. I would pick the Colts as well, and I think this is a completely different game if the Browns have Nick Chubb, because you're going to have to run the ball if you want to succeed against the Colts defense. And obviously Kareem Hunt is still a very good running back, but not having Nick Chubb is really going to hurt. And I agree. I like the Colts too.
All right. You got Sunday night game. We have the Vikings Seahawks. I thought, Seahawks minus 7.5 is no brainer. But then I hear some rumblings of some people saying this might be a trap game.
Yeah, I think I would agree. If you look at last week, the Dolphins played Seattle pretty tough. I mean, they were in that game pretty much the whole game. And although the Vikings have played not the best this year, at least not as good as people thought they were gonna, they're still a talented team and they still got a lot of good players. And the way they run the ball, I think the 7.5, I would take the points in Minnesota because Minnesota's going to run the ball. They're going to keep it away from Russell Wilson. I think Seattle wins, but I don't think it's by 7.5 or more.
Especially because this is a primetime game, and I think the Vikings have heard all the trash being talked about them. They're not going to go out there and get embarrassed. They got a good enough team. They got a physical enough team that they should be able to not let the Seahawks embarrass them too much. So I'll take the points, but the Seahawks should win.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you got the Chargers Saints. And just to mention, Justin Herbert, I mean, every quarter, he's playing against the greats. Can you go out there? Can you imagine that first game against Mahomes? Then he goes out against Brady. Here he is going out against Breeze. Like, that's awesome for a rookie.
And he's looked good, too.
He's keeping up with them.
Yeah. I really like what I've seen out of Justin Herbert so far this year, honestly. Especially, Oregon quarterbacks kind of have the mantra of typically being bust, but he's looking to break that mold, and he's looked pretty good. I do not think that he's going to come within 8 of the Saints, though. And I will say this, the Saints this year, they haven't been playing as good as they have been in years previous, but I like them to cover the 8 points, and I think this should be a pretty good game too. There'll be a couple. I don't even know if you can call this a prediction, but I think there'll be some highlight plays in this game. Some one-handed grabs, some deep touchdowns. This is going to be a fun game to watch, I think.
Earlier I said that the home field advantage doesn't matter, but if this game was in Los Angeles, you got a home dog on prime time, I was gonna pick the Chargers. I actually just straight out money line Chargers. I think it might be a good play. I mean, the Saints have not looked too good to me.
No, they haven't.
If it wasn't for Kamara, I don't think that they would be able to be as good as they are, because Kamara is a problem. But I kind of do like the Chargers to win outright. Like, that's my low-key sneaky pick of the week. That's my upset.
The Saints, they should be getting Michael Thomas back for this game, right?
He's going to be close, if not, this week, next week for sure.
Yeah. So that obviously makes a big difference too. He's one of the best, if not the best.
He's out or he's in.
Yeah, I mean that could really swing things. But assuming Thomas plays, I would pick the Saints.
All right, here's my can't lose parlay. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's see it.
And then when we're done, we'll put some money on something. We'll make it fun. I'll check it out next week.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, I got this is a teaser. I teased it and I put 50 on it. So I got the Panthers plus 14.5. I don't see Atlanta blowing out the Panthers.
No, yeah. Okay, I like that pick.
Raiders plus 25.
That might be the riskiest one. You never know. I mean, they shouldn't lose by that much. That's obviously a ton of points. But the way Kansas City is, man, you never know. You never know.
And then Jaguars plus 18.5 against the Texans. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars won outright. And the Eagles plus 20 over Pittsburgh. That's what I'm rocking with. So I put up 50, and then if this goes, I'll get back 88. All right, so what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for the risk reward, I like it. I think the biggest threat, though, like we said, was Kansas City, because they definitely have potential to blow out the Raiders, but 25 is just a ton.
I wish they would get rid of this, because it just kind of breaks my heart.
Yeah.
They won't get rid of it until the World Series is actually over. All right, let's get a little parlay going, even if it's a teaser. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Should we go? I mean, we could go crazy and pick every game and just put $1 on it, or we could pick like 3 to 5 games we feel really good about.
Okay, so we both love Arizona, so I would definitely make that part of it.
Okay, I like what you're going with there. Yeah, let's actually apply what we've been talking about.
Yeah, and then we both picked Indianapolis too.
I'm gonna take. Oh, I can't take the money line on that. Okay, -1. Sorry, this is kind of.
Oh, it's okay.
All right, can't move that.
And Minnesota, right? That was a game we both liked.
If this is a teaser, I'd definitely throw that in there. Hold off on that one. Let's try to get one other one. I think it might be the Chargers plus 8. What do you think?
I picked New Orleans, so I'm not going to recommend that. But if you like the Chargers, you got to go with your gut. How about San Francisco?
No.
Okay.
If Jimmy, you say Jimmy. Oh, how about the Jaguars? Plus 5.5.
I like Houston, but you're the Minshew guy. So
Okay. This is not working out because we're just disagreeing on everything.
well, this is your bet. This isn't my bet. Kansas City, for sure. How many teams do you have to pick?
No, the more I pick, the better odds I get. So
okay.
I like to do 5 because then you get really good odds, but
It's also way harder.
Just getting 3 to hit's really hard. So actually, I kind of like what I got here, plus 611. So we need the Cardinals to win by 8, the Colts basically just to win, and the Chiefs to win by 11. Let's put so $10 would give me 60.
That's pretty good.
Let's get crazy. Let's add one more in just to give it that oomph factor.
I kind of like we're doing this. This is like the live risk-taking betting, like a lot.
We're keeping the
Well, you're not going to see this anywhere else. This is real raw emotion with real money being risked.
We're going to take the Saints minus 8. Dude,
Okay.
Look at this. $10 to win 125.
That's
Let's just
huge.
see if we make it a teaser real quick. So if I put $10, that would give me like 8. No, let's do a 6-point teaser. So I could turn 10 into 20. Oh, sorry. 10 into 20, 23.
I like the other way better. You got to
Don't like the teaser?
No, I don't like that you only win 20. You got to go for the big money.
Want to put 20 on it?
Yeah, I would do 20 if I were you.
All right. Here we go. $20 of my real money is being sacrificed for your enjoyment.
Yeah, that's what I like to see.
All right. I guess we'll call that a podcast.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about real quick?
Nope. I just want to say, actually, yeah, there's one thing. I think this year there's been so many injuries. So I'm just hoping, if nothing else, that we could go at least 1 week in this league without someone getting a major injury. Because it's really, I feel like, hurting the game. There's been just so many injuries this year.
I think that's something we can all root for. So we'll be back this week before the Bears' next game. I'd expect a pod from us definitely on Saturday, if not before then.
Yeah, sometime before Sunday, obviously. Probably towards the end of the week, though.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Yep. Thanks, guys.